That ain't sweet.
You know what it was like, right?
That on to her.
I understand it. You didn't, but the thing is, you also understand it, and we can try and erase it all we want, but we know the facts still remain.
No, I know that junk kept me back.
It's gonna be good.
It helped. Listen, if I was able to really get there, it's the very thing that hold us back, and more of us suffer as a result of it, and we can't get out of it, and it take us down than us becoming successful as a result of it. Exactly. That's not a badge of honor. Yeah. The hood is not a badge of honor. The shit that we went through, that shit is not cool. That's not normal. That's not what we were supposed to grow up in. We're not supposed to be in single parent households. We're not supposed to be walking past crackheads every day. We're not supposed to be struggling. That's not us. I don't want to pass that on to my daughter.
Right. I didn't grow
That's
up
what you're defining as culture. It's harder to give. I don't want her to understand that. I want her to understand her greatness.
So here's my thing. Let me explain to you how I do my kids, right? Let me explain to you how I do my kids. Jay Styles, I'm talking to you. Hold on, bro. Listen.
What you got for me?
What I'm saying is this is how I raise my children. When they go to school, in grade school from kindergarten through 8th grade, I want them going to a predominantly black school. So you know who you are by the time you get to high school, and then you go to a mixed high school and learn even more. The reason being because I want them to not only understand themselves, but also have pride in themselves and who they are. Knowing what Black history is, knowing the different things that make them different, honestly, from everywhere else. That's why when you see these issues where you have these kids, young Black kids in these mixed schools, and you see all these dumbass like reports coming out, they had them playing slaves and cowboys, and the Black kids was the slaves. No, when you young and you go to a school, you know that's some bullshit. But they don't even know it because they're not even taught.
But law, wouldn't teaching about Black history whatever come from you more than the school?
Hold on.
What does it matter that I want them to be at a Black school? Okay, well, does the Black school have a good program so that my kids, when they get into high school, they will have the wherewithal, the knowledge, the scholastic necessary so that they can excel their peers? Or is it just a Black school for the sake of Black school? Because
no, it's because they teach certain things. I went to one of the best predominantly. My school was complete, was all Black.
What is Black?
Marcus Garvey.
See, my thing is you are not a Black American. You're a Canadian, so it's completely different.
What does it matter if I'm Canadian?
The experience is completely different.
Hold up, bro. Let me respond. Canada is part of North America.
Hold on, wait. Let me reset. Let me reset the room. Let me reset the room. Jay Styles. What did you have to say, big dog?
All right, so he said he would prefer his children to go to a predominantly Black school to know who they are. Now, I need to figure out what does that mean, because when I think back on school, that's very influential to children, seeing their surroundings, and sometimes you will pick up on certain behaviors or things because of what everybody is doing around you, right? So when you say you want them to go to a predominantly Black school to know who they are, is it really who they are or what they're seeing at those schools?
No, it's what he's pushing them to be.
Right.
So
that's kind of what
I'm pushing them to be like their father and their mother. Exactly. I'm pushing them
instead of making their own.
Are you pushing them in school?
Because of listen. Well, while we doing all this chitter chatting and every other word down there, I have already one successful graduate of a HBCU in Howard, and my nephew. I have another one. She's about a half a semester left from graduating from another HBCU. My thing is, those are the things that I like to push forward. Plain and simple.
Which HBCU is she about to graduate from?
She coming out of Jackson State, and my nephew just graduated from Howard a few years ago. You dig what I'm saying?
Don't you know that every single HBCU was established by a white person?
Yep.
That's fine. At this
Spelman.
point,
don't you know the very name Spelman came from the middle name of a Rothstein?
I understand it, but it's still the.
Wait. Don't you know that these very institutions that you think uphold Black culture was established and put into play and funded by white people? And even till today, the very tax dollars that it come from the very people that you saying that they need to step out of and they need to get away from as far as understanding what the culture really is. Don't you know the name Spelman came from the middle name of a daughter of a Rothstein?
So what college would you what college would you prefer?
No, I'm just saying these very institutions that you're standing on. No, because and this is the reason that I'm saying y'all need to understand y'all history.
Come on now.
Is what I'm saying is what you think is black culture is given to you to keep you contained within his mindset so that it prevents you from actually growing the way that you're supposed to.
Be a good white man. That's what they're telling you.
I think
I'm sorry, not a Rothstein, a Rockefeller.
Rockefeller. It was his
Rockefeller.
It was Rockefeller.
Let me ask
on the very listen. If you go to the very Spelman website, it will tell you the history of where the name of the institution came from. If you go to the About Us on Spelman's website, it will tell you and break down where they got their start from and where the history of the school started from.
But that's still besides the point.
It's not, because that's not black culture. That's a culture that was given to you from a white person.
That's not even legacy.
So
talk about it.
Do HBCUs look anything like PWIs when you're on campus? The experience.
It doesn't.
So
that's the experience that was created for you.
It's the experience they created for themselves because they look nothing like a PWI.
As a matter of fact, the very person that y'all voted against, the very person that y'all didn't even want in office, he gave more money to HBCUs than any president before him.
Facts.
Who said y'all?
Facts.
Black people, your culture.
Okay. So
that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Look. But that's not necessarily,
you done dug too far.
What I did. You feel
me? If you really want to deep dive into it and you really want to start mining it out, where the money come from, where the culture come from, who started it, where it was established, what the cultural norms are, why they did it. If we want to deep dive into what you define as your culture that was given to you, we can deep dive into it right now.
I mean, we could do that, but you got to look at that's anything in America anyway. You understand? No. But what do we take and make ours? What do you mean? No. What do we take and make ours? In America, what black colleges were started by black people?
I'm curious. This is awesome.
What black institutions were started by black people?
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Anton, do you think
wasn't Master P and his son? What school did they start? Didn't they start school?
ICDC college.
or you can always go to the FDB and ABCDEFG school.
Right.
I was just going to ask you that. Does where you go to school matter? Or to you, Anton, or the quality of education? Like,
I believe that the quality of education matters more than
a popular
where you go to school at, in my personal opinion.
As
a matter of fact, other cultures, it's a norm for them to not only come over here when they're pregnant, such as Chinese people. Chinese people regularly come over to the United States in order to be born here. They hide their pregnancies in order to be born in the United States to be American citizens. And then they're able to send their children. The biggest money maker is not just from donors, but from international students coming over here and studying American culture and becoming engulfed in it. That's a fact. They recruit international students at some of the greatest schools. They don't recruit white people. They don't recruit black people. They recruit the smartest people. And they're literally seeking international students at some of the greatest institutions, including MIT, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. Every single great school gets more international business than any other school in the United States of America because they're not trying to highlight and bring up white supremacy or the system by which we live in, but they understand that they're donors. And it's funny because I know for a fact that HBCUs produce the most professionals as far as doctors, surgeons, and so on and so forth. But they have the lowest alumni contributions to their coffers, which is one of the reasons why we then have to lean on Trump and people like him in order to continue to fund the institutions. Isn't that ironic? But the PWIs, as you like to call them, or the Ivy Leagues, they recruit the ones that actually come back and contribute into the culture so that they can continue to create a better culture for the people that come before them and keep tuition down for the incoming students. How come these HBCUs are so great and they produce so many great black people, but they never actually come back and donate back to the schools that's great for them?
I've heard a lot of HBCUs, not a lot.
At Hampton, we donate. We have a strong alumni association, but I'll go back on mute.
Okay. I know what y'all come back for. Y'all come back for homecoming.
Yep.
Got him.
That's it.
Yeah.
But hey, Anton, but most of the
I love this culture.
You're 100% correct. And Democrats fought Trump on this by doing that, by sending funds to the HBCUs. Democrats, left wingers, so-called the boule, AKAs in Congress, and
that's
Capitol.
where CamCam came from. CamCam is an AKA.
Yeah, so they fought Trump on that. The whole 4 years
funny.
he was in office.
Somebody in the chat said Anton is at one of Diddy's freak offs. Yo, you know what's so funny? Diddy is an honorary doctorate. He has an honorary doctorate degree from an HBCU.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Listen, I control with the best of them. We can go back and forth all night long about this whole culture that y'all love so much. I'm with it. We can get to it. We can get to it all night long. Shout out to Diddy and Envy. Didn't Envy? Well, never mind. We'll get
he
there.
went to Hampton.
Oh man,
We'll get
out.
Honorary doctor.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Shout out to Envy and Diddy. We rock with y'all.